guys. Hi guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone today? Well, I didn't think about this video. I just decided to sit down and just see how it went. And I was gonna prepare my desk all pretty like I normally do, but my big fat king cat right here thinks he's gonna stay. So I'm just gonna see how this video goes. So I'm really just making this for my followers. I finally feel comfortable discussing my condition, and if it helps one of you guys out, that's the whole point. Let me have a sip of coffee. Okay. So, I've been diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis. It's a lifelong condition, a degenerative condition. It never goes away. It really wasn't on my radar. I had heard of MS. My husband's aunt, who lives in a different state, has MS. And she's in a wheelchair, and that's really all that we knew about it. But MS is a hidden disease. A lot more people have it than they think. And all the symptoms of it, people think are other things. So that's why I'm making this video, because I wish I had found out sooner. I'm glad I did find out as soon as I did. When I think back, I've had symptoms for at least a year. So maybe 3 years before that when I think back. So 4 years at the most, I think I've had this disease, but I don't know. So first of all, my hands and feet started tingling a little bit. So I went to my endocrinologist, my thyroid specialist, and asked him to check my blood sugar again, because I am right under the line of prediabetes, and I've been that way for years. I've been able to hold off diabetes for years. It does run in my family. And he checked and said, nope, that's perfect. And then I began to have more pain in this arm, pain and burning and more tingling. So I went to make sure I didn't have carpal tunnel, because my mom had carpal tunnel growing up, and that was some of her symptoms, was the burning and tingling, and I did not. I began to trip a lot at work, and trip and fall and be lightheaded and dizzy a lot. So I went back to my regular doctor to check my blood pressure, because I am on a blood pressure medicine. No, blood pressure is doing great. It's actually lower, so that's great news. I have constant fatigue, like crippling fatigue, but I've had that again for 20 years because I have no thyroid. That's all the symptoms I can think of at the moment. But when I found out at the beginning of the year, on the 1st of February, I woke up one Sunday morning and my right leg was dragging. I couldn't lift it. My right leg really hurt and was dragging. But I was off work that day, so I decided to just take it easy. You know, when you wake up and your leg is sore, you thought maybe I bumped it at work, or, I am getting older, maybe I twisted it, maybe, something like that. You don't think you wake up with a disease, right? So I just rested my leg that day. Well, the next day, Monday, I had to work. I had a full week that week. I work in retail, and normally, as y'all know, I don't get many hours because I am part-time. I'm a closer, and our store may close this year, so we're just not getting many hours. So I was excited about having a 4-day in a row work week, so I went to work. I took it real easy at work. My leg still hurt, but I had to drag it all around putting stuff back. That was Monday. And I just didn't feel like going to the ER after work. It's 9 o'clock at night. I want to go home to my family. I'm tired. So I went home. Because in the ER, you're going to stay in the ER all night long, right? I didn't want to do that. So I went home. That was Monday. Tuesday, I woke up again, and it was a little sore. And I couldn't really pick it up. I was still dragging it, but I had to go to work Tuesday, so I did. I did go to work. I could barely walk out of work that Tuesday. I actually ended up leaving 15 minutes earlier than they let us stay a little late at the end of the day if we need to finish something. Normally I stay because I need all the time I can. So I left that 15 minutes early. And I went home. I didn't go to the ER again. I should have. I did it. I wanted to go home. Well, the next day I was laying down, trying to rest because I knew I had work that next day. That was Wednesday. And I just felt like I was going to die, that I was going to lay there and die. And nobody was going to know because my husband was at work, my kids were at work. So I got up and I couldn't use my leg at all. It was completely paralyzed almost. And then I looked in the mirror and my face was drooping down. So I thought I was having a stroke. So I called my husband at work and said, I need you to come get me and take me to the ER. I think I'm having a stroke. So he did. He left work right away and we got to the ER by 12 o'clock lunchtime on Wednesday. Well, they rushed me right in because they thought I was having a stroke or a heart attack, but I wasn't, thank goodness. But the ER was full, so while they were running tests on me, they couldn't put me in the hospital yet. There was no room. So I was in the ER Wednesday and Thursday while they were running tests on me, and it was miserable because I couldn't eat or drink anything because they didn't know why my face was, drooping like that, so they weren't sure if I could swallow. So I began to drink water with my medicine cup out of the sink. I was so thirsty. And they did MRIs and CAT scans and blood draws and x-rays on my leg. And oh my gosh. I don't cut my videos, as you guys know. And ow! Don't do that. And my cat's biting me and the other one's laying on my computer over there making it make noise. I think he's had enough petting. I'll just let him be. This is King, my daddy cat. He's the biggest boy we have. So where was I at? Okay, so they put me in the hospital Friday morning. I had been there Wednesday, Thursday, and I was in the hospital Friday morning. And one of the nurses came and told me that the doctor had done ordered I was going to be there 5 more days. And I did not want to do that. I didn't understand why I was going to be there so long. They weren't telling me anything. Well, finally that evening, almost nighttime, the doctor came in and said I had MS. And I was like, oh, great. Yay, we have an answer. It didn't really hit me what it was. And she said, you're going to be on a 5-day treatment, IV treatment in the hospital. That upset me a little bit because I wanted to come home. But she said I could do 3 days in the hospital and 2 days at home. So that's what I ended up doing. I did regain about 80% back in my right side, my right arm, face, and leg. I did regain about 80 to 85% back in that this time because they were able to stop it early. If I had gone that first day or second day or third day, it would have been better. But I have what is called relapsing remitting MS. There's different kinds of MS. Relapsing remitting means I will go into remission, which I'm in right now, and I will stay that way a year, 2 years, 6 months. We don't know. You never know when it's going to attack again. So for those of you who don't know what MS is, all your nerves are like a cord, like a charging cord, and MS eats the outside layer of that charging cord, so your nerves get damaged and they can't fire properly. There is several different types of MS. Some of it is just declining all the way down. I don't have that kind. I think I have the best kind if I'm going to have it. I did have blood work the other day, and my blood work looks great. I don't have any inflammation in my body at the moment, according to the blood work, which is wonderful. I did test positive also for Lyme disease, so they gave me some antibiotics, and that should take care of that, hopefully. I guess they'll retest next time about that as well. But a lot of people have MS and don't even know it. Women get it more than men, but there's been an explosion of it in the last 5 to 10 years, they've said. Young people as young as 20 years old are getting it. They don't know what causes it yet. They do have linked it to the Epstein-Barr virus, which is mono. I don't remember ever getting mono, but you wouldn't even know if you had mono. You would just think you had the flu. You would be in bed a week or two, you know. My daughter did have mono growing up. But me, I have no idea. I've been sick many times. I was so sick with the flu last year, I thought I was going to die. It was the most sick I ever had, even with COVID, and I've had COVID 3 times. So if your hands and feet are tingling, please get that checked out to make sure it's not diabetes. If it continues to tingle, make sure you keep that in the back of your mind to get tested for MS. If you trip a lot, when you're tired, my legs just give out. They're tired. I can't walk at work more than 100, 200 feet before I have to have my walker. So if you trip a lot and it's not your high blood pressure, go have that checked out. Fatigue, that's a hard one for women. We are taught to push through that. So, and I don't just mean you're tired. Everyone's effing tired, medical fatigue is like in the morning time when I get up and I get my kids to school and all that, I try to film a video while I'm feeling good, and then I crash. I cannot function. I cannot drive. I have to lay down in between when I take my kids to school and I'm up and I film. So about 10 o'clock until 1 or 2 o'clock, and then I get up and get dressed and go pick them up and go to work. And by the time I get home from work, I crash. And I can't go to sleep yet because my kids won't let me, I have teenagers that don't go to bed early. So I don't get a lot of sleep. I don't get a lot of sleep, and I have a high stress environment because my oldest child was special needs, and that's 20 years of stress right there. So constant stress and constant lack of sleep could also be a trigger of MS, but most women do get it because, maybe that's linked to it. We don't know. But I just wanted to make this video for my followers, really. If it helps anyone, a follower or another person that happens upon my video, good. Because I wish I had known earlier. But doctors really don't test for MS regularly because they think it's everything else, your hand, your diabetes, your blood pressure, it's all in your head. It's all in your head. I used to have brain fog. Everyone has that. You'll go to the kitchen and be doing something and forget what you went in there for, right? But it began to get so bad, I would forget what I was doing while I was doing it. So that was different. Also, my eyes got really fuzzy, and I told my husband I need to go have my prescription checked out. I think I need a new prescription. And I went to the eye doctor, and he said, no, it's not really changed much. So all of those signs put together, equaled MS. The only thing, you can have an MRI for MS, you can have blood work, and a spinal tap. Look at this baby. So I'm with a specialist now that's 3 hours away. I only have to go once a year, though, luckily. He sends all my orders down here, and my blood work and my medicine. Medicine's expensive. Freaking expensive, so I'll have to make an envelope for that. And on top of my thyroid specialist, that's going to be like $400 to $600 a year out of pocket. Let me get another sip. It's getting cold. So when you're low income and you're poor and you have diseases, man, I don't know how people make it. Just a normal checkup at my doctor, they can send me a $300 to $500 bill. And that's just me. I take my kids to the doctor, their eye doctor, their dentist, and then if they get sick, we go to the after-hours clinic, and that could cost, again, the bills are usually between $200 and $500. That could take me a whole year to pay. They sent me a $4,000 bill for being in the hospital. That's not going to get paid. I can't pay it. It's going to go to collections and ruin my credit, or, I will try to make a payment plan, but I can't. I'm too busy paying the doctors the bills they sent me, $200 and $400. I try to pay doctors first because I feel like they should be paid because you want to see them again. And then I'll worry about the hospital. Anyways, I'm starting to rant. You guys know I can get chit-chatty. I don't like to share too much of my life because I'm anonymous online. But I'm just making this for my followers because y'all care about me and my sickness, and I care about you. If I can help one person figure out that they have MS, that will make me happy because I wish I had known earlier. But I'm not too worried about this disease. It hasn't affected me too much. I do have leg spasms and things like that, but I can still walk. I just need a walker for long distances. I'm tired all the time, but I've learned to work with my ups and downs. So right now, it's not too big of a deal, I want to say. But anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I hope I haven't chatted too long. Let me look. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. Average. Oh gosh, what are you looking at? My cat's ugly face. Like I said, I wanted to make it nice right here for you guys, but this Big Daddy cat took my spot and I didn't want to disturb him. And my puppy's in my lap, but I don't want to disturb her either, so. Alright guys. Thank you for watching my videos on Friday. If I ever have an extra bonus video, I post it on Tuesdays. That's another thing with MS. When you chat too much, you begin to get like mush mouth. And it's because your muscles have just given out. They're fatigued. I have to sit and let my body, like, my muscles recharge before I can even get up sometimes. So, it's rough. It's rough. I'm still young, though. I feel like I'm young. I can make it. I still got kids at home. And, you know, I have young kids at home and a grandchild. I have to keep going. Ooh. My puppy just fell out of my lap. All right, guys. Let me go now. I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye-bye.